This presentation is really interesting. It shows images of the first 20 photos from the history of photography. And I don't want to go through in detail all of them, and I don't want to read the captions below because certainly you can do that at your leisure and take your time and go over it. But I just want to highlight a few of them as I go through the screen presentation for you. So you can go back and you can look at them again, and you can pause this video so that you can read the captions and look more closely at the photos. But I'll just point out a few things. In this photo, you see the large camera with the photographer and the light coming in from the window, and you see the person posing for the picture. And as we learned previously, it takes a long time, many minutes, for exposure to take place. So the person having their photograph taken must sit there for a long time. And can you imagine sitting there in that position, still not moving, for 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 minutes, as long as it's required to capture the image? You would get very tired, you'd get very irritable, and you wouldn't be very happy. And your neck and your head would get tired and sore. So little devices and contraptions such as this one were set up so that the person having their photograph taken could rest their head against, so their head wouldn't be as tired, and it wouldn't be evident in the picture. You wouldn't see this after the picture has been taken. And that's another reason we talked about this, why people weren't smiling as readily in photos, because it's hard to sit there for 10 minutes with the same smile on your face. So take your time and go back and look at these captions. The world's first photograph. It's very hard to figure out what it is. Probably the camera was moving or the exposure wasn't sufficient, but this was a garden. The first color photograph, 1861. First Cape Canaveral launch photograph. First rocket captured on film, 1950. The first digital photograph, 1957. First photograph of a person. I believe we looked at this image in the previous presentation. There's a person right there. And that person, getting his shoe shined, had to pose like that for 7 minutes. First selfie. Robert Cornelius set up a camera and took the world's first self-portrait, 1839. First hoax photograph. It's a trick. Hoax means a trick. So it looks like a corpse or dead body, but it's not real, 1840. And you can read the description later. First aerial photograph, the first photo taken from the air. It's quite valuable for historical purposes as well. First photograph of the sun in 1845. First photo taken in space, 1946. First photojournalist, first news photograph. Criminal, police arresting him. First American presidential photograph, 1843. First photograph of lightning. First fatal airplane crash photo. First photograph of the moon. It does look like cheese. Isn't that what they say? The moon is made of cheese. First colored landscape. Wow. 1877. southern France. First photograph of Earth from the moon, 1966. First tornado photograph. Very interesting. First photograph from Mars, 1976. First 3D American president photograph, President Obama, and new technology in photography. So you can go back and read more closely